Now, if you want to gain admission into any of your choosing school to study your dream course, you truly have to watch this video to the end, because at the end of this video, you would have fully understand what it really takes to get admission into that particular school of yours and to study that course of yours. But then there are three major type of cutoff you really need to understand. But if I even talk about three major type of cutoff, let me just briefly tell you what a cutoff is. I don't want to assume everybody understand what cutoff is. Now, when we talk about cutoff, we are simply talking about a minimum mark a candidate or a student have to get before they can meet up with the requirement of a particular course or a school, so to say. Having understand that, now let me quickly introduce you to the three major types of cutoff that we have. The first one that you need to know is that we have what we call the JAMB Cut-Off Mark. Secondly, we have what we call the University Cut-Off Mark, and the last type of cutoff you need to also note is the Departmental Cut-Off Mark. I'm quickly going to tell you what each of these really means and the role it's play in regarding your admission processes. Before we dive right into that, I would appreciate if you would just subscribe to the YouTube channel and also switch on the notification so you get to know when we upload the next video. Now, the first one, JAMB Cut-Off. Now, let me explain. JAMB Cut-Off is the first thing you actually look up to or you look forward to if you want to at all even think about admission. Now, how it works is that immediately after the JAMB result is out, JAMB will take a time or set a time apart to determine the minimum cutoff every school should work with, right? Now, what that simply means is that JAMB will come up with, like, if you're a university, you must not go below 150. I'm just giving an instance here. If you're a polytechnic, you must not go below 120. If you're a college of education, you must not go below 100. If you're an IEI, you must not go below 100. That is JAMB determining a minimum cutoff every school should play around with. That simply means, as a university, you cannot bring down your cutoff below 150. And here's the mistake some students actually make, that when JAMB practically release their cutoff, they are always flying with the rumor that,
oh, the cutoff has now been reduced.
Now, someone that wants to study medicine in Unilag that had 180 want to go ahead applying to Unilag with 180 simply because he or she has heard that every university cutoff is 150. That is not so. You need to look out for the university cutoff immediately. JAMB cutoff has also been determined. It is not only JAMB cutoff you consider, you also consider the university cutoff, and that will literally take me to talk about the university cutoff mark. Now, let me say one or two things here. You need to understand that there are some schools that let JAMB reduce cutoff to 100. They will never go below what they have ever been known for, and I can tell you this for free that schools like Unilag, specifically University of Ibadan, OAU, these are universities that they will not go below 200. When we talk about the school cutoff, we are simply talking about the minimum mark each school has pegged for students to be able to play around with. Now, what that simply means is that Unilag will say, oh, if you are applying to our school, our cutoff is 200. That simply means if you score below 200, you shouldn't have anything to do with Unilag. That is what it means. If you score anything below 200, you shouldn't have anything to do with schools like UI. Score anything below 200, you shouldn't have anything to do with schools like OAU, right? These are some of the things that some students and parents don't understand, and I believe now you understand, right? So now, once you understand that you have what we refer to as a university cutoff, that simply means you must always play your game around the university you are applying to, the cutoff of the university you are actually applying to. But let me say something here, that you also need to understand that some university have very cutoff mark for several courses. I will give you an instance. For example, Federal University of Oye-Ekiti will tell you that they accept 160 for some courses. They will tell you they accept 170 for some courses. They will tell you that they accept 180 for some courses. Same thing applicable to schools like University of Ilorin. University of Ilorin will tell you that they accept 180 for some courses. Same thing applicable to FUNAB and some school in the eastern side and even in the northern side, right? All these are just to give you an head up of how admission really works. And that takes me to the last type of cutoff mark, which is the departmental cutoff, or we can say the course cutoff, right? Now, you also need to understand that immediately after you have done JAMB, seen your result, you go for your school post-UTME, you have applied, you've seen your result, school will still sit down to determine each departmental cutoff, and that is where you need to understand how to calculate aggregates for your own chosen school, right? And if you stick with us in this video, subsequently we'll also be dropping videos on how to calculate your aggregate, and that is why there is a need for you to subscribe so that you won't miss videos like this. Now, what was I saying in essence? School literally sits down to determine their departmental cutoff. That simply means you just see school like when students are done with their post-UTME, they come together and they say, okay, for medicine, departmental cutoff for medicine and surgery is 87% or 87 mark over 100. Now, what it literally does is that the aggregate is always over 100. The JAMB score divided by 8, your WAEC is over 20, and you would also have your post-UTME over 30, right? These are the things they kind of accumulate together to make up 100. So by the time you do that for yourself, if you want to study medicine, what that simply means is that you must be able to meet up with them. This is just the little things that really needs to be understood when it comes to gaining admission into Nigeria university. I believe 7% to be able to meet up with medicine as far as UNILAG is concerned. If you don't meet up with it, you will not be given admission. I believe you've gotten one or two things. If you have any question, do well by dropping it in the comment section, and if you haven't subscribed to YouTube channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I am going to see you in the next video.